We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Sinai Gourmet, it is the Tropiquante, tropical hot sauce picante tropicale. And shake well. Yeah, good luck. Good luck shaking this well. This is a very, very thick sauce. You can see it very much likes to stick in the neck. And let's take a look at the ingredients. Perhaps we can suss out why. We lead off with banana, and there you go. It didn't take long. Also mango, also papaya, also pineapple. And then we round it out with some peppers. We got Scotch bonnet. We've got the apple cider vinegar. We've got lime juice. We've got garlic. We've got spices and sea salt. This is not a bad label. I don't like these pastel colors. I'm not in love with, but this is fairly legible here. I do appreciate that. I wish everybody would make their ingredients as legible as possible. So let's get into this a little bit. You can see there's little bits and pieces of stuff and things in there. Banana, despite being the first ingredient, honestly, I think shows up more in the consistency of this sauce than anything else. There's not a lot of banana flavor. Honestly, if you read the written review, which is available in the description down below, you can see that this is a really unusual sauce in that it doesn't. You can see this is kind of like a sort of pulpy banana, mango, papaya-ish mash is kind of what this looks like. Very light orange color, maybe a light brown. Color's fine. I don't have any issue with this. It looks almost like pudding. But it is such a... I can't think of any other sauce quite like this. And it took me a while to kind of come to terms with this just because it is such an odd and unusual entry. But let's take another little look at this. You can see there's a lot of... moves very, very slowly. It's very thick. I almost think this is pushing the bounds a little bit of a puree, almost more so than a sauce, in terms of texture-wise. Clearly, with all the ingredients, it is meant to be a sauce. It's just a very, very thick one. So, all right, let's get into it. Ooh. The texture is like applesauce. This is a... wow. By itself, it is not great. You know, and that's... I said banana doesn't show up a lot. It did in the texture, but not a lot in the flavor-wise. Nothing else does either. It's a vaguely tropical type flavoring. And I've had the hardest time trying to figure out where to put this. Because nothing, it doesn't really lend itself to anything. It's just kind of, it's this very odd anomaly that... In that bite, for instance, I got a lot of what tasted like kind of graininess as far as maybe some of the spices, a little bit of the garlic. And that's the thing. Putting on different things, you get these really odd sort of flavor dynamics out of it. And it doesn't lend itself well, I don't think, to hardly any of them. I don't know where to put this. The flavor is so muted that oftentimes it'll get overpowered by the food. Like I put this on pizza and I might as well not even, like there's nothing there. And then I wound up putting on something sweet. I'm trying to remember what that was. But I put it on, It was a Louisiana pound cake, Louisiana cake. I don't know, something from Walmart, something that I had never seen before. Some sort of crumbly, almost a coffee cake thing. I don't know what it was. But if you ever bought those little pastry things for a buck at Walmart, you know, they have pies, they have all this different stuff. If you ever bought one of those, you know that they are sort of this range where they're not high quality. It's not like you're buying something great. But generally isn't bad. It's very, very commensurate to the actual cost of it. So the dollar or whatever that you spend is you're like, yeah, it's fine for a buck. And that's kind of where they price it. So they're very accurate in terms of the value to dollar. But I put this on there and it was borderline inedible. It was way bad. So that sort of lower tiered quality of the baked item was actually a lot better without the sauce than with it, which wasn't something I was expecting because there's enough, like the first four ingredients are all fruit. So you're expecting somewhat of a sweetness to this, I think. And it's there, but it's not as present as you would expect in a fruit-forward hot sauce. So anyway, obviously this appeared on the hot ones. So this is, I think, the first sauce I've done from 19 that has not also appeared in another season. So I've got here just some popcorn chicken. And we'll throw it on here and just see how this goes. This chicken, honestly, so this is the store brand stuff. And it honestly is borderline inedible without something on it. So we're just going to see how it does here. This is a fairly easy, again, though I've had it on strips, chicken strips, and it gets lost. It's a very, in a lot of respects, a very subtle flavor, but it doesn't seem to necessarily want to go with anything. So I don't know, and there's nothing on this label. Use here, use there. I haven't checked the website yet. This is the first thing I've ever had from Sinai Gourmet. I don't know what else they do or anything like that. I should probably consider looking into that, but honestly, this is not a very impressive sauce for me, so I'm not inclined to do that either. I mean, it's fine. It's just like a vaguely fruity, sort of tropical fruity thing. It's not really good. It's not really bad. It's just kind of there. That's the way I could put it best. You know, like everything else from the Hot Ones show, it's not an inexpensive sauce. I don't know who this sauce is for either. That's the thing, is like, what are we doing here? I don't get it. There's a little spark from the Scotch bonnets. I know it seems like they're going for a Caribbean vibe, despite all the Latin verbiage here on the front, or Latin-esque, I guess. It's made in Canada. Oh, and there's mustard in this. I don't know what they're trying to do. One of the spices is apparently mustard. So the ingredients here are... Okay, the ingredients are in French. So maybe French and Spanish share some of those words, I guess. I don't know. There's such a hodgepodge thing. I mean, it certainly has an identity to itself, but that's because it's just not like anything else. It's a sort of mystery sauce. I guess if I had to pick the flavors that I think show up most strongly, is probably the mango and the papaya. There's a little bit of heat here. I think this was one of the earlier sauces in the show, so not a lot. I mean, this approach to mango is pretty good, actually, trying to make it pulpy and stuff. I do like that. I like kind of stepping away from some of the gloppier natures of the fruit forwards that use mango as a base. And of course, Scotch bonnet goes great with tropical. It goes great with everything. Scotch bonnet is just such an incredibly flavorful pepper that you can put it damn near anywhere. It's gonna be good. I mean, it is lower on the heat scale, but just fantastic. Great pepper. All right, so banana sauces tend to be, it's almost like they mean them to a degree to be for desserty things. So the other banana sauce I had was one from Angry Goat, and I'm trying to recall the name of it. It's escaping me at the moment. But if you click to the table of contents on the blog, it's a yellow flamingo. That's what it was. So if you can go look at the yellow flamingo, and in that one I had carrot cake with that sauce. Now that sauce was fantastic. That was a really, really good sauce. Had an interesting approach, its own identity, just the whole kit and caboodle, right? Great, great sauce. But I had that with a piece of carrot cake. And that was delicious. So this one I thought, all right, I should probably consider, and I think they might make carrots in that sauce too. I think that's why I did it. But this one was like, okay, bananas. How about, it didn't work with that sort of coffee cake, that Louisiana cake, whatever it was, at Walmart. I thought, all right, I've got bananas. So what about some banana bread? Banana cake's not a thing. I can't tell you last time I've had banana bread. I'm not a fan of bananas. I don't especially like the flavor of banana anything. But I thought, all right, well, I haven't had banana bread in a really long time. And bananas is the lead ingredient here, so I thought, all right, let's go find banana bread. Trying to find 1 or 2 slices of banana bread or even a small loaf proved impossible. So what I did find was these banana nut muffins, which I'm going to say is probably the same thing as banana bread, or at least close enough for our purposes here. It definitely reeks of banana, so we'll see. This should prove a good application. I'm going to be smart here, though, and just do it on half of it for now. Because it completely wrecked that other one. All right. Okay. All right. And let's spread it out here. Coat everything. We'll just see how this goes. And if it's good, I'll put it on the other one too. Alright, so here's what we've got. I'm using it like a butter. Almost like an apple butter here. Not bad there. It does. So there is a astringency here that kind of conflicts with this. And that's what wrecked that other one. I don't mind it here, actually, because enough of it blends in with the banana bread that it's not bad. I can see the ratio to the banana bread is fairly thick. Fairly thick banana muffin, whatever. There is actual banana in this. I don't know if you can see it, but there is little streaks of it in there. And all of this is, zucchini bread, banana bread, carrot cake, carrot bread, I guess. A lot of that stuff, even fruit cake. A lot of that comes across as pretty similar to me. I mean, certainly I could tell you the differences, right? If I blindfolded and ate it, I can tell you which was which. But to me, there's a similarity with all those as well. So let's finish this last one off. I think the sauce might be a bit more palatable if it was warmer. I mean, it's just, so I'm getting the vinegar, I'm getting the lime juice. And I don't know how ripe the actual fruit was, but it's actually kind of jarring. In that bite, I got a little bit more of a mustardy aspect too. And I don't understand why mustard is even... I don't get what they were trying to do with this, I guess. I don't know why mustard is in here. It just... The whole thing is really strange. Now, I don't know enough about the history to make this claim definitively, but this strikes me as something that people who are watching the show are interested in doing a rundown of the sauces like I am. That's going to hold the most appeal, I think, for this. So, it was slightly better on the chicken. It wasn't horrible on those muffins, but here's the question, right? Would I have preferred that muffin without this? And the answer to that is yes. I actually would have preferred it warmed up with a little bit of butter. But coming here for a chili head thing is not generally going to involve butter on banana muffins. That'd be silly. So we're not doing that. So, yeah. Definitely one of the more interesting and curious sauces I've ever had. And it just doesn't seem to want to place itself with anything in particular. And I probably used up 2/3 of the bottle at least trying to figure out what to do with it. Obviously, I used a lot for this as well. But there's not an application where, for me, that I get excited about using this. This is one where I would just have to use it on something to use it up. We all know that there's those type. You run into the sauces as a chili head. This is one of those for me. It's not bad enough to bin, but it's not. It doesn't really kind of suggest itself, I don't think, for anything either. This wouldn't be bad, I don't think, on like a roasted meat of some kind. But again, with that really odd flavor profile, I just don't think it's something that you go, oh yes, that Tropiquante is certainly going to hit the mark. That's going to scratch that itch. I just don't see it. At least, definitely not for me, I guess. But again, not a bad sauce, just really a strange one. I think is probably the ultimate way that I would put this. Either that or it's not good or bad, it's just kind of there. I mean, I guess same difference. But that is the Sinai Gourmet Tropiquante hot sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.